In this video, I want to talk about virtual environments and how to use them in Python. I will first explain the main purpose of virtual environments. Then I talk about how we create virtual environments, how we activate them, and how we deactivate them. The latter might be helpful if you switch between environments. Finally, I show you an example where a virtual environment is indeed very useful due to recent changes to the PyPDF2 package. A fellow data nerd commented on my video on how to extract data from PDF using Python and stated that it seems not to work anymore. The reason for that is that the underlying package, PyPDF2, has undergone several changes. And this is very common. All the time, packages change. Also, dependencies change. So to ensure that your code runs after 1 or 2 years or even more years, it makes a lot of sense to preserve version control. And that can be achieved using a virtual environment. So as an example, the PyPDF2 package has undergone many changes. When you look at the release history and you go through the documentation, there have been frequent updates. In fact, more than 10 updates have been published since I completed my video only about 11 months ago. Now, all of these changes are very nicely documented, so it's not a problem, and you can, of course, modify your code, which again can be accomplished. However, the alternative approach is to control the version of the package you downloaded. So now I show you how to create a virtual environment. So you navigate to your folder where you keep your Python script. So in my case, I call this main.py. I also have my PDF document, which I want to use as an example. I already created 2 different virtual environments. One is based on an older version of PyPDF2. It's called PDF. And the other one is the PDF_new environment, which is based on the latest version of PyPDF2. It takes a bit of time to create these environments. This is why I already completed the task. But I will show you right now how you get started. For this to work, you have to install a pip installer. You will certainly be able to figure out how to do this. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. You also have to install a package for virtual environments. You just type in cmd and you are right in the folder in your command prompt, and now we can create our virtual environment. So we type python -m fend for a virtual environment, and then you can name it. I just name it now PDF. So when we go back to the folder, we should now have a new environment, PDF_2, and we can just have a little look. And we could now start installing stuff into this environment. The importance is to note, now we have this environment, but it's not active yet. So when you go into the folder scripts, double click on this, you see activate, and this is basically what we need to run. We have to activate this environment. We can do this in our command prompt, and I think this is usually the most convenient way of handling that. So we go back to the command prompt. So now note we are in this folder, Python tips and tricks, and now we navigate to our new environment, which is PDF_2. Then we go into scripts, and then we say activate. And once it's activated, you see this virtual environment is popping up here in the front inside bracket. Now, of course, once it's activated, now you can use your pip installer. So you can do something like pip install, and then depending on the package, you would put in the name of the package, like our PDF2. So when you go to the documentation, you see here, you would have to type in PyPDF2. You can just click here to copy it to clipboard and use that. I already have done this because it takes a while. Now I want to show you the differences in terms of how these environments perform. To do this, I switch to the other environments, which means I should deactivate the current environment first. How do you deactivate? Well, you follow a very similar approach compared to activation. You just state deactivation. Yeah, so we just can go back here. So we just use the arrows to go back to the previous command, and we just type in deactivate, and that should deactivate our environment. And you see now it dropped. So let me just go first into the old environment. The old environment basically preserves the version of PyPDF. How do you do that? So when you use the pip install, you type in, of course, the package you want, but then you also specify your version. So you would move and activate your environment, and then you would do something as follows: pip install, and then PyPDF2, and then you put equal to and specify the version. The version I used originally was 1.260. Then we simply run our script, so Python, and I called this main.py. So now it went through the PDF document and gives you the expected output. Again, you can find all the code, everything on GitHub. Good. Let's switch to the PDF_new, which has a new version of the PyPDF2 package. So I deactivate the PDF environment and I move to PDF_new and activate that. And we run into all sorts of difficulties as described by our fellow data nerd, that the code doesn't work anymore because, well, things have changed, and you see the reasons for that because certain names have changed, certain classes have changed, and then you have to actually consult the documentation to see whether you can rework the code. In practice, what you tend to do is you tend to use virtual environments to ensure that this is not a problem going forward. Of course, sometimes you like to have these updated packages, but then you can really control the version you want, the version that works for your project using your virtual environment. Or you switch between environments depending on what is needed for a specific project. Now that's all for this video. I see you in the next one.